behind the starter's orders. Lights are on, and it's a good start there by the looks of things from Phakisa. He's going to go around the outside, but it's Lance Isaacs through the middle. Brandon Good with an amazing start coming from the 4th row. Sneaks up into 5th place, but the champion hit the front. He maintains his pole position and maintains his advantage over the rest of the field as they go down towards turn 2. PS Race Kawasaki leads out. The Black Swan Racing BMW is up in a second. Lance Isaacs coming from the 2nd row of the grid, had an opening, saw it and took it, and has moved up into 2nd place. On his tail, looks like that is going to be Dylan White. Yes indeed, 2nd of the Portable Shade Kawasaki's. Then it's the BMW of Grobler. What has happened to Greg Hildenaes? He had an absolute nightmare of a start, and he's not even in the top 7 just yet. He's probably down in about 9th place as I pick it up as they come through the toe of the boot. He's looking for a way past early on and fighting it out with Robert Portman. Portman was down in 8th place and he's behind Portman, so he must be in about 9th or 10th place there. And the man who was in the front row, unfortunately just getting an absolute nightmare of a start here for race 1 in Super GP. Leader is out front. 2nd place is his teammate Dylan White, doing a great job so far. The tail gonna roll right now, trying to keep the rest of the field at bay and away from his championship leader. As they come down on the back straight, Greg Hildenaes starting to make his way through in the back there. He saw the number 34, getting it sideways and finding a way past some of the riders. Dylan White hangs on for 2nd right now. The battle is for 2nd. It is Lance Isaacs on his tail and the gem and the Golden Mile BMW on the inside in Vox Telecom and finds a way past Isaacs. Isaacs and Grobler side by side, and eventually Grobler comes out just ahead of the Black Swan Racing man. They come onto the main straightaway. Kawasaki's 1 and 2, BMW 3 and 4. Behind there, it looks like it's also another great start from Brett Harron, the RSA man. That's bike 77. It's a Kawasaki ZX-10R. And Harron all over the back of Lance Isaacs right now. Remember, that is a rivalry that basically took place the whole of the 2013 season in the 600cc category last year. But it's now resuming once again here in the thousands. Dylan White's had a full season in thousands last year as part of N-Tech Racing's Yamaha squad. He's now moved across onto the Kawasaki, and it looks like he's made it his own because he's sitting very comfortably there in 2nd place. The Gambler, the Joker, Sir Lancelot. Then on their tail comes Brent Harron, and behind him, that young kid is going to be slowly but surely feeling the pressure from Greg Hildenaes. Double G on the creepy crawly BMW. Big left-hander coming out of the boot section now. The battle is definitely for 2nd at 23 and 22. And on the inside, the 2-2 man, the Joker, has a big look on the inside of the Gambler. He's not going to show those cards too soon, though. You've got to hang tight a little bit longer. It's a 15-lap race. It's a long time in the saddle for these guys, especially here at Phakisa. They're used to 10 to 12 lappers, so it's another additional 3 laps on the normal way of doing things here at Phakisa Freeway. But it's all part of the new package that Super GP brings along to South African motorcycle racing. They come down into Vox Telecom. The leader's getting away. Clint Seller, in practice and qualifying, has basically been the class of the field, and he's certainly showing it here as he opens up a bit of a margin. His teammates doing an amazing job to keep the rest of them at bay. There's no doubt about it that Dylan White is just keeping everything else that's not part of the Portable Shade team behind him for now. But as I say that, here comes the Golden Mile BMW side by side with him. The Joker's on the inside for turn 1. He's not close enough though. Had a big look on Dylan White's inside, but couldn't quite make it stick. Lance Isaacs sitting in 3rd place, very comfortable and waiting for a mistake from either the Joker or the Gambler ahead of him. But he has to worry about Brent Harron and a very hard charging creepy crawly BMW with Greg Hildenaes on board. Into turn 2. 5 bikes, well 4 bikes have now become 5 in turn 2 as Greg Hildenaes gets up and has a look on the inside. Harron, he's gone through. So whatever was wrong on the start hasn't affected the bike through the race, and he's made his way up into what is now 5th place on the road. Nice little run there from Greg Hildenaes, but remember, if he'd been a little bit higher up, he could possibly have run with the leader who's getting away. 4.5 seconds after 2 laps, that's the lead that Clint Seller's been able to pull on the rest of this field, and that's due to the fact that his teammate is doing such a phenomenal job to keep the 3 BMWs and the 2nd of the Kawasaki teams out there. The leader of that Kawasaki team, of course, Brent Harron, on the Mantella RSA Kawasaki. Down the back straight into the sweep. 185 kilometers an hour as they pitch it over onto the right-hand side. It's about 2 inches of rubber that they're going to play in, doing that kind of speed. That's the leader, and look at the gap he's pulled. There's 4.5 seconds on the previous lap. It's probably going to be close to the 6-second bracket now as they cross the line now and complete lap number 3. A maneuver from the BMW, has a look on the inside. It's extremely close between these two. But right now, Dylan White, pretty comfortable in holding off all of the BMW's surges. There's a move on the inside for turn 1, but once again, in second place, there was a move, but third place was stuck. As you see, Greg Kilnice running a little bit wide, and on the inside comes Brent Herron. Herron having a look on the inside as the two BMs were scrapping it out for what is third place in this little battle, and Herron's through. Kilnice forced Lance Isaacs wide. He then ran wide in turn 1, opened up the door, and Herron said, right, you two running wide, I got this. I'm coming through, and I'll take fourth place. Thank you very much. So Kilnice, who was looking to take fourth place, has fallen to fifth. Isaacs drops out of it to sixth, and Herron, with some great riding, sneaks through into fourth. Herron now looking to close in on the BMW of Krobler. Krobler sitting comfortable on the back end of Dylan White. It's a great dice between these two. And Kilnice is down! Greg Kilnice has crashed out. He gets back up, but he has gone down. Greg Kilnice crashing out. The bike doesn't look too damaged. It looks like it's the same place that Temba Kamala went off in, so wow. That is a massive turn up for the books here. 3-time South African champion, 1 year overseas on the Gold Bet BMW team. He comes back for his first race meeting of the season, and unfortunately ends up in the kiddie litter right at the back of the field in SuperGP. So they come down into Vox Telecom corner now. The lead group has lost one of the BMWs. That is Greg Kilnice. A mistake there from Double G is going to be costly to him. There's no doubt about it. You've got to put in consistent results right from the word go if you want to be at the front end of this championship by the time the flag drops at the end of the season. Here at Phakisa Freeway, at the final round, as part of World Superbikes coming back to South Africa. And Phakisa Freeway is going to be absolutely electric at that stage. We're expecting big crowds coming from all over the world to come and see not only the World Superbikes in action, but the Monster Energy Super GP Champions Trophy final round as well. So it's 2-2 now in second place. That is the Joker. He's found a way past on the gambler, Dylan White. Dylan White comfortable at the moment in third. Looks back. It's a bit of a gap to the Mantella Kawasaki or Brent Herron. Herron's going to have to work on his maneuvering and his riding ability to stay with these guys, but he has got loads of talent. We saw it on his MV Augusta last year. He was part of Brad's team last year. This time out, he's decided to go across to Yomi Pienaar and RSA Racing, and he certainly has got to grips with the ZX10 very, very quickly. He's a big boy, so he certainly had to step up onto a bigger bike at some stage. Kind of had that Ruben Zaas feel about him in the 600s. Slightly too big for the bikes, but now on a ZX10, certainly finding his own. Speaking of finding his own, Kinsella lapping at almost 2 seconds a lap quicker than anybody else out there. The PS Race Kawasaki ZX10 is now 7.5 seconds ahead of Nicholas Krobler in second. Krobler into the 39s, so is Dylan White and Brent Herron. Lance Isaacs also sitting in the 39s, but it's 1 minute 37s that Kinsella is able to put in here. And if we look at the current lap times, the 1:37.8 is the fastest and best lap we've seen out of Kinsella. The best lap we've ever seen around this circuit is in the 35s from Valentino Rossi on a MotoGP bike. So considering the fact that's 2.5 seconds slower on an Evo Superbike is some pretty impressive stuff there out of Evel Knievel. Kilnice is back up and running. Our cameraman have picked him up, and you can see him coming into sight right now as he heads down. Well, he's got a lot of work to do to make up the ground. He's got to catch Nicholas van der Walt, Ryan van Arsveken, and the Red Baron, Ronald Slamet. And let's see whether or not he's able to make up any of that lost ground. Fanica could be the first man he closes in on. So it's pretty close between them. This is what it's all about at the front end, though. Krobler fighting out with Dylan White and Brent Herron. Two Kawasaki's, a BMW. Behind them, it's Isaacs. He's lost a little bit of ground, though, on the Black Swan machine. So the RR there of Black Swan Racing's Lance Isaacs. He's in fifth, but he's off the pace of the bikes that are 3-4 ahead of him. The two Kawasaki's fighting it out, trying to close in and close down the BMW of Nicholas Krobler. Krobler also looks like he's starting to pull a bit of a gap now. So White and Herron. Wonder if they'll work together considering they're stable mates there on similar machines. White starts to slip and slide coming onto that back straight. That'll be a concern. It'll be a bit of an eye-opener there for Brent Herron if he sees that back end slipping already. And we're only coming to the sort of near the halfway stage, not even at the halfway stage yet. The back end of Dylan's bike is starting to slip and slide. Hopefully he'll be able to keep that all together. But tyre wear and degradation, and of course these guys all on Pirelli rubber, are definitely going to be a factor here in this race. Temperatures as we started the race, track temperature of about 30 degrees Celsius. Ambient temperature outside getting down to about 20 degrees. It's gone down a little bit. And looking across from the outside of the circuit when I got to go and do the podium, it looked like could be a possibility of some wetness a bit later on. Not going to be in this race, but later on this afternoon, we might get some wet weather conditions. So the two Kawasaki's of White and Herron closing in. Where has Lance Isaacs gone? Lance Isaacs has fallen by the wayside here. I don't see him. He's a little bit further back than what I'd like. 42 is, of course, Nicholas van der Walt. Has Greg Hildenace got past on him? This is 13th place on the road. So Greg Hildenace closing in on the 4-2 machine. He's got past him. He's now closing in on Ryan van Arswegen. There is a battle as well, a bit further back there, Brandon Good. Nice battle here. Absolutely amazing stuff, I've got to say, from these guys. It is Brandon Good leading this battle. Oh, Garrick Flock on the dirt. Garrick Flock on the dirt just ahead of Ivan van Niekerk. Ivan van Niekerk thinking to himself, where are you going? That's not the line to be using here. But Brandon Good leading this little battle out. This is for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th place. It's a really great little battle here. Kind of pockets of riders all through the field. In the back of them is Robert Portman. And behind Portman comes Ronald Slammett, the Red Baron. So first time out here for Brandon Good. He's looking for a top 5 finish, possibly if Lance Isaacs starts to fall any more further back than what he has off those two Kawasaki's at the front. But this man on a Kawasaki is certainly getting to grips with things in 1000cc's right from the word go. Brandon Good on a 600 last year as part of the 600cc championship. Garrick Flock all over the back of him looking to hassle the young man, but he's certainly just soaking up that pressure and has no problem with the battle that he's in right now with Garrick Flock. Behind them is Ivan van Niekerk. Pretty comfortable in this little margin, and of course he's sitting in 8th place. 9 and 10, Robert Portman and Ronald Slammett. As I said, little pockets starting to sort themselves out here in terms of battles, but the battle at the moment that we're watching is really turning out to be some of the best action we've seen in SuperGP. Garrick Flock trying to find a way past on his fellow Kawasaki mounted Brandon Good. Good tips it over on the inside, keeps it on the right-hand side. Nicely done, closes the door so it doesn't allow an opportunity for overtaking from Garrick Flock. Flock seems to be able to get out of the corners a bit better than Brandon Good is, but then closes in on the brakes. Runs a bit wide there, coming into the toe. That's not quite the line he wanted. And he had to just take evasive because he came in a bit hot into that corner. This is where he ran wide the last time, so let's see if he keeps it on the inside. Doesn't run too wide this time on Brandon Good. They come out of the boot section. He runs back onto the rumble strip this time. Keeps it just on the strip, not onto the dirt. And then comes out trying to fire that Kawasaki to get past Brandon Good. Through Incini 1 now, into Incini 2, the two right-handers that take them onto the back straight. Oh, there's a big look on the inside, and there's a good possibility that there's better drive. Yes, there is. Better drive out of Garrick Flock, but defensive maneuvering there from Brandon Good. Good keeps him out. Only just. As I said, on 1000cc, as they pitch it in here, especially in the SuperGP class, it'll be close to the 180 km/h mark as they come into that right-hand sweep at the end of the straight. Lance Isaacs trying to find him. We did find him eventually. He's still in 5th place, but he's lost a huge amount of ground to the Kawasaki's of Dylan White and Brent Herron. He'll be comfortable to sit there in 5th place. Hopefully not lose too much ground, because if he keeps up the kind of lap times he's doing, his last lap looking at a 140.6. Brandon Good's last lap as they've just crossed 42s. So he's still in a comfortable space right now and will probably not be troubled too much by Brandon Good and Garrick Flock as they head down into the toe of the boot. This is the man in second, Nicholas Krobler, Dylan White. Dylan White's gone missing. If we can Dylan White has gone missing, or has he got ahead possibly of Nicholas? No, he's gone missing for sure. That is the 7-7 bike behind Nicholas Krobler now. So Dylan White somewhere around the circuit, trying to find him on the cameras right now, but the 23 bike, the Gambler, is no longer in this battle for second. The battle for second now is between the 22 bike of Nicholas the Joker Krobler and Brent Herron. Looks like, well, that's number 1, that's the race man, and of course our race leader on the last pass, 9 seconds ahead of anybody else on track. At the back end, of course, is Nicholas van der Walt still hanging on for 13th place. This is the first time he stepped up in the 1000cc category. He's part of Brother and M-Tech Racing. And it looks as if he's going to be hanging time there. Nicholas Schrobler. There is Dylan White, the gambler, cruising through the right-hand sweep. I don't see any damage on the bike, so what has gone wrong on the Portable Shade Kawasaki? He's just taking it very gingerly, getting it back there. I'm not quite sure what's gone wrong, but you can see him just gesticulating to the rest of the riders. A line put a bolt through. That is going to be the end of the race there for Dylan White. I know that Gugu's down in pit lane. He can probably pick up on the action and find out from Dylan exactly what's gone wrong. But what a pity there for the second man on Portable Shade Kawasaki there. Dylan White coming into pit lane right now. And end of race 1 for him. Thank you. All right, so the man who came off earlier on, Greg Kildenase. Oh, Garrick Flock looked the wrong way. He looked over his left shoulder, Dylan, and he didn't see Greg Kildenase coming on the right. Kildenase sneaks through on Garrick Flock. He's now made his way up into what is 5th place on the road. So that's a great bit of maneuvering considering that Greg Kildenase went down in the early stages. He's been able to make his way back into the top 5 and back into the hunt. Flock has got ahead and found a way past Brandon Good. As soon as he did that, he's also opened up a slight advantage over Brandon Good. Good now having to go defensive to keep out Ivan van Niekerk. Van Niekerk and Good coming through onto the back straight just behind Greg Kildenase. The 6-4 machine is Garrick Flock. He leads that battle now. We're not too worried about Greg Kildenase. He's probably going to check out of this battle because he has got a slight advantage over these riders in terms of experience. And the machine he's on right now. There's a fellow BMW rider crossing the line and completing another lap. You can see Isaacs, when he looks across at his team, he's doing the best he can right now, lapping in the 1:39 bracket, which is a decent lap time around here. His best lap is a 39.8. His last one was a 41. So you can see he's rolled off ever so slightly. Got to get that BMW back home. Just off the podium, though, and I'm sure he'll be concerned about that and maybe try and turn things up here for the second part. So Ronald Slamet goes through. That's the Red Baron. He's managed to find a way past on Robert Portman. Portman on the 86 Brother M-Tech Racing Yamaha. Losing out a little bit of ground there. So Kildenase getting out of the way and now no longer involved in the battle between Garrick Flock, Brandon Good and Ivan van Niekerk. Van Niekerk, probably the most dangerous man in this little battle as Flock looks back. He's got enough time to see where Brandon Good is. Ivan van Niekerk can't do that because he's got some maneuvering to do here to get past the 7-1 bike of Brandon Good. Looks like Dylan White making his way back onto track. Whatever the problem is, they seem to have sorted it out. I know that Gugu got hold of him and we'll bring that interview as soon as we can. But I tell you something, Clint Seller, his teammate, is not having any hassles on his Portable Shade and Race Kawasaki. It's the PS Race Kawasaki out front now by probably a good 10 seconds. Nicholas Schrobler tried hard in the beginning to stay with him, but unfortunately just didn't have the pace that this Kawasaki's found. His teammate is back on track. Oh, is this just perfect timing for him? Dylan White comes back on track as Schrobler goes through. He's not going to affect the race at all. Going into second, absolutely amazing stuff. But we have got the interview, and it looks like we're going to be heading to that pretty shortly. Greg Kildenase now in 5th place. He's crossed the line. A top 5 finish, considering he's gone down, is a very valiant effort from that young man. He has got a huge amount of respect around the country and around the world in terms of his riding ability. And it looks like we're going to go straight to Gugu to find out what Dylan's problem was.
What happened there?
I don't know, it's just as I came out of turn 1, it went onto 3 cylinders. And the dash carried on like that the whole lap, but now it seems to be fine. So I don't know, maybe electrical problem or something like that.
Hard luck, mate.
Yeah, amazing stuff there, and good job there, Gugu, getting us the info right at the crux of the matter, as it always should be. And Dylan White, unfortunately, as you heard, they're just running out of cylinders. Oh, and a big change up here. Looks like Garrick Flock, while we were talking to Dylan White, has had a problem. And Ivan van Niekerk has now taken the lead of this little battle. Remember, this is for 8, 9, and 10th place. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It's for 6, 7, and 8th place. And Brandon Good looking to get up into the 6th spot. He goes on the inside of Ivan van Niekerk. Can't quite make it stick, but these three are not done yet. I thought Garrick Flock had checked out. He got to the front once Greg Kildenase went through, But it looks like Flock has made a mistake ever so slightly somewhere on the track, and it's now opened up the opportunity for Ivan van Niekerk to take advantage. But here comes Brandon Good. Can Good get on the inside? Yes, he can. Brandon Good gets on the inside and now resumes the lead of where he was earlier on in this race, ahead of the two Kawasaki's behind him. Oh, look how tight it is between these guys. Really awesome stuff. I say the two Kawasaki's, Ivan, I beg your pardon, is actually on a BMW, and you can see just how hard he's having to work now. The meat in the sandwich between the two Kawas. Brandon Good. Oh, Garrick Flock's going to be on the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Very nice little maneuver there, but unfortunately just couldn't make it stick. And Ivan van Niekerk saw him coming. Kept him out for now, but can he keep him out much longer? It's extremely close racing for 6th, 7th, and 8th place on track. They're on to their 12th lap now, which means our leader is going to be coming to complete his 13th, so we've got about 2.5 laps to go for the leader, but this battle is not done. We're still going to see 2.5 laps of action between these guys. 2nd place is pretty much wrapped up, as is 3rd. I don't think we're going to see much of action between them. There's a 2-second deficit between Krobler and Herron, but these guys are absolutely hauling. Really, really great stuff between the youngsters. Ivan van Niekerk, Garrick Flock, and Brandon Good. These guys, two of them brand new to superbike racing. It's the first time they've stepped up onto the liter class, and they certainly are showing that they've got some talent for the future. Flock looks on the inside. Ivan van Niekerk once again just keeps his normal line through there. I think he's also a bit concerned about the wild riding coming out of Flock. Flock on the outside. Flock goes through. Can you believe that? I think he was able to make that one stick, but he did. He went round the outside, coming out of the boot section and into Chini. He's now got ahead of Ivan van Niekerk. So the two Kawasaki's now leading out the BM for 6th, 7th, and 8th place on track. Down the back straight. Brandon Good tucks in behind the bubble, tries to get away from these guys. Now he's trying to get his head down, turning the work up ever so slightly and trying to make a maneuver to get away from Flock. Flock is definitely the fastest of these three riders. However, he is extremely wild on track and is certainly using different lines, that is for sure. It might be costly in some points, but in other points, he makes up big ground. Back Pirelli tires are starting to cry out here. They are being pushed to the limit, that is for sure. And they are starting to leave big black lines coming onto the main straight and all around the corners on Phakisa Freeway. Back down the gearbox, banging it into turn 1 now. Good, under massive pressure from Garrick Flock. Flock is all over the back of him and looking for a way past. So we're on to the penultimate lap now. 14 of 15 to go, and these guys still at it. And heading into turn 2, Flock has a look on the inside, can't quite make it stick, and he's definitely looking for an opportunity. So it's Brandon Good, Garrick Flock, and Ivan van Niekerk. The only real dice on the track right now, and it's extremely tight between the three of them. Awesome riding, as always, from these guys. Gotta say, they really have shown what it is all about in SuperGP. We're expecting tighter battles as the BMWs and the other Kawasaki's come to the same kind of pace that has been set here by the man who leads out right now. We'll get to him in a few minutes' time. But right now we are seeing some of the most awesome 1000cc dice we've seen in a long, long time here in SuperGP. Back onto the max straight. Good, Flock and van Niekerk. Probably about 0.3 of a second distance between them. Hardly anything in it, and they've got a lap and 2 corners to go. Leader coming through, and well, he's started his last lap, as has Nicholas Krobler, Brent Herron, and Lance Isaacs. There comes Greg Kildenace. Here come these three, and they're going to be starting their final lap now as they pitch it into the left-hander. So as they come through, going back to our leader now. We'll pick up on the action from that battle a bit later on, but it's Clint Stella, the most dominant man that we've seen in the start of a season in a long, long time. He was quickest in almost every single session yesterday in free practice. Went to qualifying, and he sorted things out in qualifying, getting down into the 1 minute 37 bracket like he's done in this race. He then went into Super Pole, was the last rider off, and capitalized on everything that he got right and set the Super Pole alight by taking pole position as well as the fastest lap in the qualifying session. He's now gone from flag to flag and has not been bettered. He comes into Vox Telecom for the final time, and Clinsella on the portable shade Kawasaki. Little wave to the crowd, you can see how happy he is. He's got oodles of time to do that. 8-second deficit down to the BMW in second place, but it is the first win of the season, going to Evel Knievel himself, Clinsella. Portable Shade Kawasaki, number 1, and they are first in the race and first place for race 1 of the Monster Energy Super GP Champions Trophy. There's a happy man, there's no doubt about it. Second place is going to go to the Golden Mile BMW of Nicholas Krobler. Third place coming across the line there will be Brent Herron, and eventually Lance Isaacs as we follow him through. But back to our battle. Garrick Flock is at the front, and he's into the final section now. Garrick Flock ahead of Ivan Vinico. Brandon Goods made a mistake somewhere and has lost out ground here. What a pity for the young man. But into Vox Telecom. Garrick Flock is now at the front. Ivan Vinico behind. So 6, 7, and 8 coming to the line. 7th place is going to be going to that man on the 7-1 bike. Should have been, but Garrick Flock found a way back to the front, and he takes 7th with Vinico in 8. 9th place to Brandon Good, and Ronald Slammett comes through eventually for 10th place. We're almost eyes down in racing. Eyes down, lights are on. Here we go. Down off the line. A good start from Robert Portman. A magic start coming from behind as well as they sneak through from Ryan van Arsvegen. And he starts to make his way through the mid-pack. But it is Clinsella who has now made it a perfect day so far for himself. 2 whole shots into race number 2. His teammate right on his tail and in the perfect position to hold off that pack. That is exactly what Portable Shade and the PS Race Kawasaki team wanted. As they go into turn 2, it's 1 and 2 for the PS boys. As they come out of that in 3rd place, it looks like it is going to be none other than Lance Isaacs. Sir Lancelot getting off the 2nd row into 3rd place, ahead of the man who was in front of him. So not a great start there from Nicholas Krobler, and he was outgunned by the BMW behind him to make it up to 3rd and 4th place. 5th place is Brent Herron. Behind him is Robert Portman. I'm looking back to see how far back the rest of the field have dropped, and also looking for Greg Hildenace. Once again, a very, very bad start from Greg Hildenace. He certainly is not getting the starts right on his creepy crawly BMW, but we know he was able to get up into what is 5th place on the road after having crashed out in race number 1. Hopefully he's not going to push as hard as that right from the word go. Give the tyres a chance to get up to heat. And you can see he's actually behind Garrick Flock as they come onto the back straight away. Tip it over into the double right now, into Vox Telecom corner. Kawasaki's 1 and 2, BM 3 and 4. Then a Kawasaki in 5th place. That's Brent Herron trying to find his way up to the back end of Lance Isaacs. Isaacs and him had an epic battle for the championship in the 600s last year. Both of them now stepping out of the 600 championship back up to the 1000s. Lance for probably a 3rd or 4th time in the 1000cc championship, and Brent Herron for his first time out. Then it's Robert Portman. Portman crosses the line with Greg Hildenace behind him. Garrick Flock, Ronald Slammett, the Red Baron in 9th. Brandon Good up to 10th place with Ivan van Niekerk and Ryan van Arsvegen, followed very closely there by Nicholas van der Walt. 1 lap in, and it's a 1.3 second deficit down to Dylan White from Clinsella. He's put in 1.3 seconds just on that first lap from a standing start to a 1 minute 41.8 second lap. That is an impressive bit of riding there from this man, and it is going to be a difficult task to beat him here this year. 23 is leading the battle between the 2 riders in the 20s. And wow, big move on the inside there from Krobler. Nearly made it stick. Couldn't quite find the way past as Dylan White was making that Kawasaki ZX-10 probably as wide as the ZX-14 just to keep out his BMW arch rival. And they are side by side. He decided to go around the outside, then changed his mind mid-corner while the wheel was in the air. And he manages to unfortunately not get through. But it is non-stop action here between Dylan White and the Joker. The Gambler and the Joker are down the back straight. Krobler's on the inside. Oh, he's just not able to get up on the inside and squirt past that Kawasaki. The Kawasaki top end just outdoing the BM there. How much longer can he keep that BMW behind him? Hard braking into the finals. Double right. Vox Telecom corner sees a new man into 2nd. Krobler's made it stick into 2nd now and gets ahead of Dylan White and goes hunting for the 2nd of those Portable Shade bikes. PS Race Kawasaki leads. Golden Mile BMW is 2nd. Portable Shade Kawasaki is 3rd. The Black Swan BMW is 4th place and not far off. Whatever they did down at Lance Isaacs Pit, it's certainly working out a lot better than it did in the first race, and he is in contention here for a possible podium. 2 laps down, 13 laps to go. And as they come down into turn 2, Isaacs trying to close down and make up a little bit of room he's lost there. Just in half a lap, he probably lost about 2 or 3 bike lengths. Garrick Flock behind him, Brent Herron behind him. Then it is a battle royal, as you see just in the back there. Garrick Flock just ahead of Robert Portman. Ronald Slamet, a much better ride from him this time in 9th place. He's into the top 10. So there you see, there we go. Brent Harron, Greg Kildenace. I see Garrick Flock up there. Behind Flock on the 6-4 bike, of course, is Portman and Slamet. That's a nice battle to pick up on, maybe. We're looking at Ronald Slamet in the 68 and 86. It's the flip out of the two numbers there. The 86 and 68 battle. Greg Kildenace on the Creepy Crawly BMW, working hard, looking at his lap times into the 39.5s, everybody else into the 39 deads or 4s, so he's still got to make up about 1/10 of a second to close down on Brent Harron. Carries some good corner speed through the sweep. Harron is getting closed down there through that sweep by Kildenace. Double G certainly looking to get there very quickly. Not going to hold anything back, that is for sure. Great to see a brand new championship starting with such an exciting race day. We've got Monster Energy SuperGP Champions Trophy here at Phakisa Freeway. We head to Red Star Raceway for round number 2. And it's a welcome to motorsport for not only Monster Energy here at the top level superbike racing in the country, but of course also to Vox Telecom, to Discover Digital, and of course Pirelli rubber on these motorcycles, all part of the gas package that's being put together by Gas Sports and this magnificent new Champions Trophy Tour. Seller on his own some. 22 in second place is Nicholas Schrobler. 23 is Dylan White. Isaacs, Harron, Greg Kildenace. Here comes the next part of the battle. It's Garrick Flock. There you can see 68 versus 86. The flip out of the two numbers there. The Red Baron taking on Robert Portman. Portman's got a lot of time around here. He is the editor of Motorcycle South Africa magazine, and certainly does a lot of testing at the circuit on various machines, not only on race bikes. There goes Brandon Good. Nice little battle here as well. Ryan van Arsbeek fighting it out with Ivan van der Kerk and Nicholas van der Walt. This is a great little battle. This is the back end of the field, and Ryan van Arsbeek putting up his hand saying thanks a lot for the space. This is battle for 11, 12 and 13th place. So right to the back of the field, we've got action, and probably some of the best action we're seeing is at the back end right now. The front has spread out ever so slightly, but van Arsbeek keeping it real at the back end with Nicholas van der Walt and van der Kerk. It's the battle of the vans here. The Van brothers going at it. That's Van der Walt, but Van Arsbeek and Van der Kerk. Yeah, there's a big fun and mover joke in there somewhere, I'm sure, but I'm not going to pull it out just yet because they are really giving it everything they can for 11th, 12th and 13th place here on the circuit. So as they come into the final corner, and they're going to be completing lap number 4 now. Some great racing so far. We're into the first third of this race completed as they start lap 5. Nice to see these guys at the back end in an epic battle, just like we're seeing at the front for the championship contending riders. Looks like Ryan van Arsbeek is now starting to get away ever so slightly on his gem and full throttle bike. However, the battle between Van der Kerk and Van der Walt is not done yet. Into turn 2. Yep, Ryan van Arsbeek definitely opening up a little bit of a margin there. There you can see Brandon Good. He's been able to get away. He's trying to close down onto the back end of Portman and Slamet. Slamet managing to get through on Robert Portman there on that last lap. There you can see confirmation of it. 64 is Flock, 86. Unfortunately behind the 68 bike now, so the two Kawasaki's ahead of that Yamaha. But Portman leading Yamaha on the track right now and heading down towards GD1 and 2. Robert Portman certainly going to be trying to stick with those two Kawasaki's. He has lost a little bit of ground as they come onto the back straight. Flock, very wild. Man, he's the wild man of this particular tour. Got some seriously different lines around this track to what we're normally used to. It works for him sometimes, hopefully it works for him all the time. There you can see going in ever so slightly deeper, and Ronald Slamet carrying a little bit more corner speed, which has allowed him to close up on the back end of the 64 bike of Flock. So Garrick Flock, one of our top Northern Regions riders, looks back. He knows Slamet's coming. He can feel that Kawasaki pressure being put on at the front end. The Red Baron all the way from Cape Town. One of the Cape Town riders Lance Isaac was talking about in his interview. Certainly going to have a lot of support when we get to round 3 down in the Mother City. But right now he is fighting it out with Garrick Flock and Robert Portman, seasoned campaigners here at Phakisa Freeway. So flipping it out and going through the sweep now, heading down towards turn 2, past the old control tower. Hard on the brakes. Slam It is getting closer. I think Flock realizes the pressure is even more intense than it has been all race long. Slam It looks back. He knows he's got the gap now over Robert Portman. Doesn't have to worry about that. Portman better keep his eyes on that rearview mirror if he had it on, because Brandon Good is certainly coming. CJ Automan is definitely starting to put his Kawasaki into contention for this little battle. And remember, this is fighting for 7, 8, 9, and 10th place on track. Lap times in this particular battle are in the 41 bracket, 1 minute 41s and 1 minute 42s out of these riders. The leader is currently lapping in the 38s. That's both Grobler and Sella. 39s coming out of Dylan White and Lance Isaacs. So these guys unfortunately got to find still about a second and a half to get to the front end of the battles. But at Red Star Raceway, there's another whole new ball game going to be brought into it, that is for sure. So as they go through, look at how these guys are working. Garrick Flock getting that back end ever so slightly squirrely as they come through there, but it is Ronald Slam It. His back end seems to be just planted as he comes out of Vox Telecom heading to Discover Digital, and now comes into what is the final corner here at Phakisa Freeway to complete lap number 6. On to lap 7. Getting close to the halfway stage of the 15-lapper. We get down to the toe of the boot. That'll be the halfway stage of this race. Garrick Flock keeping it out and looking for a chance to maintain this lead over Slam It. But Slam It is coming. The Red Baron has got the red mist and certainly looking for a way past. There's our leader. Currently 2.5 seconds ahead, and he's actually gone past Nicholas van der Walt. Looks like he's in the back markers now. So finding a way past our final rider on track. Is that van der Walt? No, it's not. That is actually, yes, indeed. It's not too far off. That is the Joker, Nicholas Grobler. I thought it might be a back marker. I thought it might be a bit early for him to catch that back marker, and that's what caught me out. But it actually is second place. There he is, Nicholas Grobler. Not too far off. It was 2.5 seconds the last time. It looks like it's come down dramatically. Hopefully we can keep this pace up for Nicholas Grobler and he can close in on Clinsella. Isaacs has moved up to 3rd place. So as they come in now, that is 2nd place. Wait for 3rd place. There's Isaacs. Look how close it is for 4th. Nice little battle here. Isaacs fighting out with Dylan White and Greg Kildernace. Greg Kildernace has caught up onto the back end here. So what, this is 3, 4, and 5. Very, very close as the 2nd place man completes the lap. Here they come onto the main straight now. Isaacs, Dylan White, and Greg Kildernace. Kildernace looking for a way through on that Kawasaki. Can't quite make it stick just yet, but he certainly is going left, right, and center to find a way past Dylan White ahead of him. Isaacs was able to make it stick somewhere around the track. We didn't quite get it on camera, but we know that he's made it because you've got confirmation right now as you see them heading down towards turn 2. Into turn 2, pitches it over onto the right-hand side of the bike, and it's Lance Isaacs hanging on for dear life right now as Dylan White and Greg Kildernace start to close in on him. Lap times there, 39.6 from Isaacs, 39.9 from White, and a 39.4 from Greg Kildernace. So the man at the back of this field is definitely the fastest rider of these 3. Kildernace looking to get ahead now. Will he be able to do it? Coming over on the right-hand side. Now heading up to the sweepers and into Tuning 1. This is where things can get all sorts of sorted out. And look at the corner speed that Greg Kildernace is carrying. That creepy crawly BMW is now all over the back of the portable shade Kawasaki. Can he get the drive onto the back straight? Watch for some out-braking maneuvers here and for some acceleration maneuvers as they go into the sweep. It's full tilt down the back end, 5th gear, 180, 190 kilometers an hour, depending on how their gearing is set up. But as they come through on the right-hand sweep now, onto the braking markers, down through the gearbox, into 2nd. Sweep round Vox Telecom. Kildernace is right there, looking to get up the inside. He goes for the turn into the last one, but can't quite make it stick. He is very close though. If he gets good drive now, let's see if he's able to get it down into turn 1. Isaacs has 2 bikes in his slipstream. They could use that slipstream effect, but not just yet. Maybe holding back ever so slightly. We've got 8 laps completed. We got on to lap number 9 of 15. Isaacs looks back. He knows he is in the battle here. The gambler is there. So is Double G. So Sir Lancelot has to try and keep that Black Swan BMW of his ahead of these 2 riders. They are both itching to get through. One mistake from Sir Lancelot will allow Dylan White through. a similar mistake from White will give Greg Kildernace a chance of getting into it. It's going to be extremely close by the time that checkered flag comes out if this continues the way it is right now. Heading out of the boot section, down towards the sweepers that go to Unchini 1 and 2, the two right-handers that lead onto that back straightaway. Here they go, onto the back straight. There is second place. That's the gap between second and third. You can just see Grobler sneak through. Here comes Kildernace. Wow, big look up on the inside. Dylan White saw him coming, slammed the door and said, no, you're not going through there. You're going to have to work a bit harder to get past me. I don't know how much harder Greg Kildernace can work right now. He is all over the back of Dylan White and cannot find a way past. A similar thing is happening in terms of Lance Isaacs' ability to keep Dylan White out. So as much as Dylan is going on the attack, he has to go on the defensive. That's the problem of being the meat and the sandwich in terms of a battle like this. He is certainly having to work twice as hard as Lance Isaacs is. And of course, Greg Kildernace. Greg Kildernace, though, getting good drive down the main straight. Can't quite capitalize on it, though. He gets great drive. Just can't outbrake Dylan White into turn 1. He's going to have to try something later on. We're into lap number 10 now of 15. Lovely racecraft out of these three. Here's a move. Dylan White on the inside into turn 2 and gets through. Portable Shade Kawasaki outdoing the BMW of Lance Isaacs. Black Swan Racing unfortunately found wanting into turn 2 and White has got ahead. Dylan White moves to third place. Greg Kildernace looking to do the same thing now. He realizes Lance Isaacs' bike might not be performing as well as his creepy crawly BM is able to do. Two BMW stablemates there, working, well, against each other right now, but of course they are fighting for separate and their own championship points. And more importantly, they need to try and work together to beat out the Kawasaki. Dylan White, what an awesome job for him. First time out in the 1000cc class in a long time, and first time out on the Portable Shade Kawasaki, and he is now in it. Here comes Kildernace on the inside of Isaacs. Done deal. Isaacs seriously must have some kind of problem. Looks like Robert Portman might have a bit of a problem too. Picking up on him on the back end of the circuit, slowing down. Looks like the big R1 is not firing like Robert Portman wants to do. He's coming out of the toe of the boot and out of the boot section. What a pity there for the brother MTech Racing Yamaha team. Their number 1 rider. That's not what you want to be seeing. Robert Bobby Idle Portman. Certainly not where he wants to be finishing up as our third place battle heads to turn 1. Idle was, Robert Portman was down in 10th place. He's now fallen right to the back of the field. Probably pull into pit lane. Hopefully we'll get Gugu down there to make sure that he gets all the information from Robert Portman as to what has gone wrong on that brother MTech Racing Yamaha. As we continue the battle here between the two BMWs and Dylan White's Portable Shade Kawasaki. Creepy crawly BMW behind Dylan White. Black Swan Racing BMW of Lance Isaacs now probably about 3 or 4 bike lengths behind Kildernace. How many times have we seen this little battle ensue in the past? Kildernace versus White. We probably saw it in the Derby Cup, the Vodacom Derby Cup that used to ride in the late 90s. We then saw them move up into the 250cc category. Then, of course, into 600 regionals, 600 nationals. They fought it out at 600 national level, they fought it out at 1000 level, and they're now at Super GP level, and they're still fighting. What a way to go. Good friends off the circuit, but of course that rivalry picks up ever so slightly when they get onto the black stuff, and it means business, and the business time is now. White keeping out his good friend, and of course off the circuit, that's the only time they are friends. Now they are at the business end of their contracts and working hard to try and take points away from each other. 11 laps completed for our leader. Second place man has just gone across the line. 3.9 second difference between them. Here comes the third place battle, and it's Dylan White keeping Greg Kildernace out for now, but they're now side by side down into turn 1. Kildernace showed a wheel, maybe just setting things up for a bit later on in this race. So the leader, as I said, 4 seconds ahead of Nicholas Grobler. That's not as big a deficit as what we saw in race number 1. So certainly the Golden Mile BMW team have done something special to get that bike a little closer to the Kawasaki at the front end. Dylan White, Greg Kildernace and Isaac still in the battle for third. Oh, We are starting to see a bit of showboating from Evel Knievel. Big black line being laid down there. Is it showboating or possibly those Pirelli tires saying, okay, it's certainly feeling like we're getting a bit loose out there. However, the hands of this man, you can slip and slide the bike any way you want to. He is so comfortable on that motorcycle at the moment and definitely going to be a tough man to beat this season. Second place. That's the gap. Can you believe how close it is? It's a lot closer than what we saw in the first race, that is for sure. And they're coming into the closing stages now. Heading into Vox Telecom. Sella is certainly going to be happy with this performance out of his team. Martin Petzold setting up his suspension, getting it all right. Alfie and the team from Brad Anastas' technical side, keeping that Kawasaki at the front end. And of course, all his sponsors there. PS Race, Craig Zank, and of course, the entire Anastas Racing team. Looking for some big results out of this man. And so far, it has gone according to plan. Down into turn one, waiting for our battle for third place. You can see Dylan White at it. He's fighting hard, heading up towards turn two. It's a nice little battle there, and it's not done just yet because on his tail is Greg Kildenhuis. There's second place, Nicholas Schraubler. Waiting for that battle for third. There it comes, Dylan White fighting with Greg Kildenhuis. Looks back, right into the eyes of danger. That's not what you want to be doing at this point in the race, Bill, especially considering he is only 0.2 of a second behind you. He looks back and all he sees is Double G, Greg Kildenhuis, longtime friend and rival on the track, having some fun and games right now and trying to sort out what is going to be the third place on the podium. This is for podium honors. It could end up in tears for one of them. It could end up in tears for both of them, and a big surprise for Lance Isaacs because he's not too far back. He's sitting in fifth place, waiting for something to happen between these two. He has seen it in the past, so maybe he's thinking to himself, it could happen again here today. Wow! Kildenhuis just dropping a knee, trying to get the drive onto the straight. He's gone on the inside. Has he got him? Yes, he has. Greg Kildenhuis sneaking through the sweep. He's run wide. Can he keep it tight? No, he can't. Oh, he just keeps it tight enough to keep Dylan White out. It is extremely close between these guys as they come onto the braking markers for Vox Telecom corner. Wow, amazing riding skills there from Double G, Greg Kildenhuis. He came through the sweep on the inside. I didn't think he was going to make it. Dylan White didn't think he was going to make it, but he just snuck through. He ran wide, but was able to keep that tight line and just forced Dylan White down into fourth. Kildenhuis is on fire right now. That creepy crawly just snuck through and certainly cleaning up on the track, that is for sure. The BMW is hanging on now for what is potentially third place as they start their penultimate lap. They're on 14 of 15. It's a lap and a half to go almost for these two. And I think Dylan White's not done yet. He says, okay, if you can do that, let's see where I can find a spot where your chink in the armor is. And he's looking very, very hard for that chink in Greg's armor to get past on him again. Here they come, onto the braking markers, out of the boot section. Flick it over on the left-hand side, head up towards the top of the hill, because this is where we're going to be looking for an opportunity for Dylan White to get good drive. He's lost a little bit of ground there. Kildenhuis just getting the squirt out of the boot section so much better and running the corner speed ever so slightly better than the Kawasaki. But then, as I say that Kawasaki comes straight back at him as they come out of the sweepers into Incini 2. Dill right behind the bubble of that screen, trying to get down as low as he can to keep the aerodynamics right on that package. But look at how Greg Kildenhuis is able to corner that bike. Whatever they did to that back shock that was giving Greg Kildenhuis massive hassles through the weekend, Noddy Van Groenen has done something special and has now put that bike back into contention here. There is no doubt about it. We're going to see Greg Kildenhuis possibly on the podium here. Two BMWs and a Kawasaki, or has Dylan White got something for this last lap? They start their final lap now. They are 12.9 seconds, 13 seconds behind second place. Second place is 5.5 seconds behind the leader. And Sella basically has just got to take it easy on this last lap and bring it to the line. He comes out of turn two, heads down towards the boot section. There you can see just in the background the second place man. But unfortunately it's too little too late there for the Golden Mile BMW of Nicholas Schraubler. showboating, no doubt about it. Look at that big black line being laid down by Evil Knievel. Expect massive celebrations from this man if he's able to go across the line and take a double in his first time of asking. And when I say he's going to take the double, he's not only going to take the double, he is going to take the perfect weekend. He has been fastest in all the practice sessions. He was quickest in qualifying. He then went on to take the Super Pole, win race 1, fastest lap in race 1, looking for fastest lap here, already done in race 2, and potentially race 2's victory. He's down into Vox Telecom. This is the final time. He'll pitch it over there in anger. I'm sure you're going to see one final look back as he comes out of Vox Telecom, just to make sure that that BMW hasn't closed on him for whatever reason. He is that confident that the number 1 has come up already, and he shows that big finger to say, I am the man, and I am the man to catch the season, no doubt about it. Watch for the big wheelie. Seller, Evil Knievel on the portable shade Kawasaki. That is the perfect weekend, and what a way to start Monster Energy Super GP Champions Trophy action. Clint Seller wins out 5.5 seconds ahead. A great ride there from Greg Hildenace, beating out Dylan White for third place. White takes fourth. Krobler coming up to give him a high five. He knows he's in for a battle royal this season, and certainly they're going to be doing their homework at BMW to get that machine of Krobler's and of Greg Hildenace and probably Lance Isaacs up to the pace